Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2. And good afternoon, and welcome to Nobby's Ballpark, home of the 2024 UAA Championship Case Western Reserve University Spartans. As Case Western Reserve University, 28-8 on the season, 11-2 in the UAA, will be taking on Washington University in the second game of a four-game series, first of two here today in a doubleheader. The Bears, 23-13-1 on the year, 7-5-1 in the UAA. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm John Schwartz with play-by-play coverage of today's game between the Spartans and the Bears. After yesterday, the Spartans in 7 innings, winning 14-3 over WashU. Today, looking to follow that up, keep things rolling here as they face the Bears once again. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get you the batting order for WashU. Leading things off will be Shane Pellegrino, the shortstop. Harry Moderer, the first baseman, hits second. Clayton Miller, the second baseman, batting third. And then in the cleanup spot is the designated hitter, Carson Clegg. Batting fifth and playing center field is Brandon Boudet. A graduate student third baseman, Evan Minarvik, will be batting sixth and playing third base. Sam Polk, a graduate student from St. Louis University, the left fielder, bats seventh. Miles Burke catching and batting eighth. And then Magnus Dunn, the right fielder, will hit ninth. Anderson Gomez on the mound. We'll tell you more about him in the bottom of the inning when he takes the hill. Defensively for the Spartans, again, pretty similar lineup with one change out there from yesterday. It'll be Dane Camphausen at first base. Second baseman is Franco Alonso. The shortstop is Nate Arterburn. And at third base is James Powers. The defensive change for the Spartans comes in left field, where senior Connor Stevenson will get the start. The center fielder today is Logan Andraco, and the right fielder is Nick Harms. Doing the catching is Jack Anderson. And on the mound is Archer Stankowski, who will enter the game with a 6-2 overall record and a 4.63 ERA. That comes over the course of 9 starts, including 46 2/3 innings pitched. He has struck out 51. He's walked just 19. Hit batters have been a little bit of an issue this season for Archer, who has hit 12 in those 46 innings. But overall, really good season so far for Archer, who has struck out, again, 51 in those 46 2/3 innings and has held opponents to that 239 batting average. We are about set to get going here as Stankowski's first pitch misses down low to Shane Pellegrino, and it's in a 1-0 count on the WashU shortstop. Pellegrino yesterday, 1 for 3 in the game, struck out once, swings at that pitch, pops it up, fouling out of play, and the count evens 1-1. So the Spartans with a big win yesterday, looking to follow that up here today. As that one line drive left field, and misreading it out there with Stevenson, it'll go all the way back to the wall. Stevenson tracks it down. He's going to try to get it in quickly. Going for third is Pellegrino. Here comes the throw. It's up the line. Good job by Stankowski to back it up, but that will be a leadoff triple for Pellegrino, and the Bears have something cooking here in the first inning early on.
Now batting for the Bears, number 7, Harry Motter.
So the Bears have a runner at third, nobody out. That's one of those line drives when they're coming right at you. Those can be tough to read. And Stevenson, who's a good defensive outfielder, just misread that, came in at first, and then had her charge out to go get it. But, you know, again, not sure that he would have had much of a shot at it either way. That ball is smoked by Pellegrino. And one misses for a ball, and it's 2-0 now on Martyrer. For Pellegrino, that was his second triple of the year. Martyrer at the plate, a .258 hitter on the season. Struggled in yesterday's game. He was 0 for 4. And that one hits him. So the 13th hit batter this season. By Stankowski. The first 2 runners have reached against him. And that will now bring up Clayton Miller, the 3-hitter, with 2 on and nobody out here in the first. First pitch called a strike against Miller, and it's 0-1. That ball chopped foul down the third baseline. So Stankowski ahead 0-2. Martyr has stolen 9 bases on 11 attempts this season and wouldn't be shocked with first and third and nobody out to see him in motion at some point here. Stankowski, thinking similar, throws down to first to keep Martyr honest. The 0-2 from Stankowski. And he comes high with a fastball and misses 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Throw goes down to second. The tag, and it is not applied. Not the best of throws by Jack Anderson. I think he's arguing interference on that one, that he had to throw around the runner. Either way, it'll go as a strikeout swinging, and unless the umpires talk it over, which they will not, no interference call there. So it's second and third, one away, and the batter at the plate is the cleanup hitter, Carson Clegg, the freshman, hitting at .311 on the year, designated hitter in the game, takes ball 1 down and in, 1-0. See if Stankowski can settle in a bit. Archer has struggled a little in his last 2 starts. It's a bit of a rocky start here in this one, as that one dribbled foul down the first baseline, and it's a 1-1 count on Clegg. Spartans back in the infield as that one grounded through for a base hit. In to score easy is Pellegrino. They will stop Martyr at third, but it's an RBI single for Clegg, and WashU jumps out in front 1-0. So in the second hit of the inning, the Bears take a 1-0 lead. So that'll bring up Brandon Boudet with 1 out. And runners on the corners as that one misses outside for a ball, 1-0. Bears striking first in this one. Yesterday was Case Western Reserve with 7 first-inning runs. Bears hoping to return the favor here. They've got a chance to put some distance between themselves and the Spartans early on in this one. There's a called strike. It's now 1-1. Boudet hitting at .305 on the season. Swings and hits that one over to second base on a hop flip to second for 1. No return throw. And it'll be an RBI fielder's choice for Boudet. As Clegg out, 4-6 on the putout at second base. Martyr comes in to score. It's now 2-0 Bears. And with 2 away, runner at first now for Evan Minarvik. Minarvik hitting at .303 on the season, 4 home runs and 29 runs batted in for the Texas product. Minarvik coming to WashU by way of Northwestern, where he had his undergraduate career. The 0-1 from Stankowski. Swing and a miss, 0-2. 2 runs across so far here in the first for the Bears. A chance for Stankowski to limit the damage. He's ahead in the count, 0-2 with 2 away and a runner at first. His 19th pitch of the first inning coming up. This one to Minarvik with Boudet at first. And in the air, deep towards center. Andreyko going back, but has a beat on it. In front of the warning track and the 400-foot sign. Reaches up, makes the catch. And the inning is over. So, a little bit of a rocky first inning for Stankowski, who gives up a pair of hits, including 2 runs, but is able to escape significant damage. He does give up those 2 runs, and it'll be a 2-0 lead as we move along into the bottom of the first. Let's go ahead and get your batting order for the Spartans. And again, similar to what we've seen lately, Logan Andreyko leading things off and playing center field. Jack Anderson, the catcher, bats second. And the third baseman, James Powers, hitting third. Right fielder, Nick Harms in the cleanup spot. Dane Camphausen playing first and batting fifth. The designated hitter is Zach Carinci. He'll hit sixth. Franco Alonso playing second base and batting seventh. Nate Arterburn, the shortstop, bats eighth. And then Connor Stevenson playing left field and batting ninth. Defensively for WashU, Harry Moderer is the first baseman. The second baseman is Clayton Miller. The shortstop is Shane Pellegrino, and over at third base is Evan Minarvik. In left field is Sam Polk. The center fielder is Brandon Boudet, and the right fielder is Magnus Dunn. Doing the catching is Miles Burke for the second straight game, and on the mound will be Anderson Gomez. Gomez, who wears number 22, a somewhat local product from Powell, Ohio, located just outside of Columbus, attended Olentangy Liberty High School. He's a first-year pitcher who is 6 foot tall, 190 pounds, and a righty, and he has been good this year for the Bears. He'll be making his fourth start, but his 11th appearance overall, and Gomez this season 4-0 with a 4.55 ERA. He's thrown 27 2/3 total innings, giving up 32 hits for a 291 opponent's average, but has been a pitch-to-contact guy, 16 strikeouts, 8 walks. So, you know, you would assume looking at the numbers, and, you know, sometimes you're surprised on these, but, you know, looking at the numbers, you could assume that he's the kind of guy who's going to try to get a lot of ground ball outs. Again, a pitch-to-contact type of pitcher, and sometimes those are the guys that could give Case Western Reserve some trouble. The Spartans have no issues making contact, but, again, sometimes the guys who are going to try to induce a ground ball against you, that's when those swings can get a little big. Maybe you struggle a little bit with it, but we'll see what the Spartans do here. First pitch to Andraco is a called strike, and it's 0-1. Logan Andraco leading things off here for the Spartans. He's batting at .350 on the year, 2 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Misses outside for a ball, 1-1. Yesterday's game, Andraco 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, 2 of which came on a triple. It was his third triple of the year. That leads all Spartan players. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Diving attempt by the shortstop, Pellegrino, but it gets through for a base hit.
Next up for your Spartans, number 5, Jack Anderson.
So nobody out, and Jack Anderson will be the batter. Anderson had a nice day yesterday. Drove in 4 runs. He was 4 for 4. Called strike, and it's 0-1. Anderson drove in the 100th run of his career in yesterday's game. One of only a handful of players in program history to reach that milestone. Anderson squares to bunt, pulls it back, and takes a ball. It's 1-1. Can't imagine that's going to change the WashU defensive positioning here, as you need to stay back at third base with Anderson hitting. Jack did a good job going to right field yesterday. This one, though, grounded towards third, gloved, throw to second, not in time, no throw to first, and so for Anderson, it'll go as a fielder's choice.
Next up for the Spartans, number 12.
The third baseman, Minarvik, had a little bit of trouble getting the ball out of his glove, and that resulted in any chance of a double play being eliminated. Throw down to first. Anderson back as James Powers steps up to the plate. Anderson stolen 10 bases on 11 tries this year, but he hasn't been running as much lately. Powers at the plate hitting at .364. He leads all Spartan players with 51 runs batted in this year and takes a called strike, 0-1. WashU scored 2 runs in the top of the first inning. They lead 2-0 here in the bottom of the first. The Spartans trying to respond. Again, the UAA championship has been decided, but these are big games all around. Really big games for WashU, who is featured in the first regional rankings, but probably needs to get at least 2 wins, maybe 3 this weekend, to have a legitimate shot in an at-large bid. Gomez missed with that pitch. The catcher, Burke, was set up outside, but Powers fouled it off. The pitch came pretty much down the middle. And Gomez a little lucky there that Powers didn't do more damage with that. 0-2 offering now to Powers with Anderson at first and one away here in the first inning. And another one fouled off, 0-2 still. So 0-2 again to Powers. Nick Harms waiting out on deck. Here's the 0-2. And a swing and a miss at a high fastball, strike three, and Powers down swinging. So 2 outs now in the inning, and that'll bring Nick Harms to the plate. Harms 2 for 5 in yesterday's game. He had 2 runs, drove in the first run of the game with an RBI single. Harms on the season, a .297 hitter, second on the team with 10 home runs. He's driven in 48. Spoke extensively yesterday about his success over his career against WashU, his hometown team. Not only, again, it was his hometown team, but his parents are professors there. His father is a professor there. So he's got some ties to WashU, and I think nobody more than Nick relishes his success against the team over the course of his career. 7 home runs now in 9 games against the Bears. And that was a home run swing, but the curveball gets past him, and it's an 0-1 count on Harms. Harms did a good job yesterday. Didn't get the ball out of the ballpark, but picked up a couple base hits. Looked pretty good. As that one misses outside, 1-1. Harms just a tremendous Spartan career. The program's all-time leader with 30 home runs. Got a pitch to hit there, but takes it for a strike, and it's 1-2. So Gomez a chance for a scoreless first inning, a strike away from that with Harms at the plate. We'll see if Anderson is running here with 2 strikes on the count against Harms. Anderson not going, and the pitch sails high. It's 2-2. Gomez gets the signs from his catcher, an all first-year battery for WashU in today's game. As that one on the inside corner with the fastball for strike 3. Harms not crazy about the call, but heads back to the dugout, and that'll end the first. So the Spartans with a leadoff single, but nothing to show for it. We'll move to the second, and the Bears leading 2-0. It'll be the bottom of the WashU order. Polk, Burke, and Dunn due up when we come back. Sam Polk set to lead things off here. Takes the first pitch fastball at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Polk hitting a .217 in his first season with the Bears, the graduate student transfer from St. Louis University. On the outside corner that time. Nice pitch by Stankowski, 0-2. The Spartans trailing 2-0 after an inning of play. Bears scored 2 in the first as that one tails away. Another good pitch. Stankowski looking a bit sharper here to start the second inning. One-two on the way. Down and in again, 2-2. It'll be Polk, Burke, and Dunn this inning. Polk, 10 runs driven in. Of his 15 hits, he's got 2 doubles. Left-handed hitter facing the righty Stankowski, who delivers the pitch. It swung on in the air, right field. Again, misjudged a little and off the glove of Harms. Polk off to the races. He's going to stop at second and pull in there with a double. You could tell the ball carrying well in the Spartans, and now both corners of the outfield have had some trouble judging it. That'll be the third hit of the game for the Bears. Their second extra base hit, and the second time they've led off an inning with an extra base hit. So Polk now with his third double of the season standing at second as Miles Burke will be the batter. Burke, the first-year catcher, takes the off-speed pitch up high for a ball. Powers in half a step at third base. Not necessarily going all out for a bunt, but maybe just trying to get a read and see what Burke's thoughts are at the plate before he commits. The 1-0, down and out, 2-0, and you can imagine here Burke certainly at this point appears to be at least looking or, waiting till he gets a strike to put down a bunt. He did just take a look at his armband. Sometimes that's a little bit of a giveaway when you see a batter after he gets the signs from the coach, takes that outside for ball 3. But the coach gives him signs. You see, they look down at the armband just to see if something's up, although Burke seems to be doing it fairly consistently. The mistake you make sometimes as a player is that you do that. As squaring a bunt there and just misses outside for ball 4. So double and a walk, and there's 2 on for the Bears here in the second. And the batter coming to the plate now will be Magnus Dunn, the 9-hitter. That'll bring Steve Grunberg out to the mound to have a talk with Stankowski, who is in some trouble again here in the second and trying to avoid the deficit getting any bigger than it already is. Dunn didn't get an at-bat in yesterday's game, came in as a defensive replacement, and then was pinch hit for in the lineup before he could come to the plate. On the season, Dunn batting at .350. He has scored 21 runs, no home runs, 10 runs batted in. He's also stolen 14 bases on 16 attempts. Dunn, a senior out of Ellicott City, Maryland. A left-handed hitter will await the meeting on the mound here. The Spartans bullpen getting up and moving a little bit. So nobody out, 2 on as the Bears threaten again. Dunn squares the bunt, gets it up in the air, but foul down the third baseline, and it's 0-1. Dunn does have 1 sacrifice bunt this season. But again, out of that left-handed batter's box, probably as much of an opportunity as anything to try to bunt for a hit here as well. He misses it. That will actually tipped it. And either way, the count now goes to 0-2. And I got to imagine the bunt is off here with 2 strikes and a pretty good hitter with Dunn at the plate. Chance, though, for Stankowski now to go after Dunn here, try to get the first out of the inning. He does square to bunt and bunts it out in front of the mound. Stankowski with it, goes to first. And a successful sacrifice there for Dunn. Both runners move up, and there's 2 in scoring position now, and back to the top of the order.
University, number 17, the shortstop, Shane Pellegrino.
Shane Pellegrino will be the batter. Pellegrino hit his second triple of the year in his first at bat. Hit a line drive that went over the head of Connor Stevenson in left. And he hits that one hard, and that's down into left field for a base hit. Scoring is Polk. They'll hold Burke at third, but it's an RBI single for Pellegrino. 4th hit of the game for the Bears. And it's now 3-0 WashU.
Next up for the Bears, number 7, the first baseman, Harry Lauder.
So 1 out in the inning, runners on the corners, and Harry Martyrer now will be the batter. Martyrer was hit by a pitch and scored the second run of the game for the Bears in his first at bat. Fouls back the first pitch he sees there, and it's 0-1. Stankowski yet to find a rhythm on the mound here, and misses inside there as the count goes to 1-1. Fastball swung on, grounded towards short. Backhanded play by Arterburn. His throw to first not in line. And it'll be an infield single for Martyrer that brings across a run. Tough break there. So the runner, Pellegrino, was going from first on the play, and that forced Arterburn to abandon his position. And, again, nothing you could do there. If he stays tight in that position, he's played it perfectly for a potential inning-ending double play. But instead, with the runner going, Arterburn had to dive back to go get the ball. And again, just a tough break there. This ball, first pitch swinging, hit to deep center field by Miller. And Draco has it lined up, gets the ball in. Moving to third on the play is Pellegrino, but that will be the second out of the inning. So some tough luck this inning, really in general today for Stankowski, who's allowed 4 earned runs, but some tricky defensive plays as well on the 2 balls hit to the outfield that the Spartans were unable to make plays on. Again, not errors, as that one's foul tipped back by Clegg, and it's 0-1. Again, no errors in the game for the Spartans, but just plays they haven't made. That ball's popped sky high, shallow center field. Second baseman Alonzo calls everyone off and makes the catch for the out, and that will end the inning. But the Bears add on 2 more. It's now 4-0 WashU as we move into the bottom of the second. The Spartans will try to answer back with Camphausen, Carinci, and Alonzo set to start the inning for Case Western Reserve when we come back. Well, the Spartans looking to answer back here after the Bears have struck the first blow in this game. 2 in the first, 2 in the second for WashU, and the Bears with a 4-0 lead moving into the bottom of the second. Dane Camphausen set to lead things off and takes the first pitch up and in from Gomez. It's 1-0. You're in a bit of an interesting spot right now if you're the Spartans, who clinched the UAA championship yesterday. But you don't want to lose focus of the importance of continuing to win games, especially, again, when the UAA championship, at least this year, does not come with the automatic bid. Again, no automatic bid this season for the UAA. That will change next year when Chicago rejoins the conference for baseball and softball. It's a 2-1 count now. Gomez set to deliver to Camphausen. And Camphausen high in the air, right field, over to get it, and making the catch is done for the out. And there is one gone here in the second. But, you know, these are important games to get. And the Spartans find themselves in an early hole, hoping to avoid the post-championship hangover. Give credit to WashU for coming out and starting this one strong. You know, vice versa. It would be easy for the Bears to kind of lose focus after dropping a 14-3 game yesterday, but so far so good for WashU here in Game 2 of the series. And that one line, right field, Dunn coming in, and he makes the catch for the out. So some good defense out there this inning for Dunn. And with 2 gone, that'll bring up Franco Alonso. Alonso hitting .316, 3 home runs, 25 runs batted in this year for Alonso. A graduate transfer in his first season with the team after joining the squad following his undergraduate career at Cornell. Takes that down low, ball 1. Down and out, 2-0. The Spartans led the game off with a single from Andraco, but since then, Gomez has retired the next 5 batters he's faced in order. It's a 2-0 count on Alonso, who swings and fouls it off, 2-1. Alonso just such a great addition to this team for a variety of reasons, but mention his flexibility in the field, his ability at the plate. They were expecting Alonso to potentially pitch a little bit this season, too. That hasn't necessarily happened, and I think that a byproduct of him being in the lineup every day. And he takes a off-speed pitch on the outside corner for a strike, 2-2. Two-two pitch to Franco. Line drive, center field, base hit. And Alonso just such a patient hitter at the plate, and again, just able with 2 strikes to get that hit there. He does that a lot, where he could fall behind in a count and still make something happen. So Alonso on at first. We'll see if he's moving here. He's stolen 9 bases on 11 attempts this year, and they'll have Nate Arterburn at the plate, a .245 hitter on the season. They're playing him way back at third, and let's see. Yeah, now they'll sneak in a step. Menarvik was playing Arterburn far back at third base. Now he's going to take a few steps in to defend somewhat against the bunt, right on the lip of the grass. But yeah, that's one with Arterburn at the plate. You just can't play that far back against him. Breaking ball for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Spartans trailing 4-0. Trying to rally with 2 outs here in the second. It's a 1-1 count now on Arterburn. Alonso fakes the start now, and a ball in the dirt is going to try to move up, and no throw. Alonso takes second base. Count goes to 2-1 at the plate. And now Arterburn with a base hit can score Alonso. Ooh, and he can't hold up on that one, and the count goes to 2-2. And if you're Gomez, you see that swing Arterburn just took on your breaking ball, down and out, and you've got to make him reach for that breaking pitch again here, I would think. Especially now first base open. You could be a little bit outside the strike zone here and still be okay. Arterburn staying with that one. That one, again, I think it was the breaking ball there, but caught more of the plate, and Arterburn able to waste it. But yeah, in this situation, if I'm Gomez, I am working that outer corner with that breaking ball. 2-2 pitch on the way. And that one popped up, came fastball inside. And I have to imagine that now he will, again, go back to that outside corner again. Let's see. Alonso takes his lead from second with 2 outs. 2-2. Fastball misses high. 3-2. So full count with 2 away. It's a situation where you've got a pitcher in Gomez who tends to hit his spots, so you can expect a strike here probably if you're Arterburn. Well, misses up high. There you go. Ball 4. So Arterburn draws the walk.
Now batting for your Spartans, number 6.
Just the 9th walk issued through 11 appearances this season for Gomez. And the Spartans have first and second now. And the batter at the plate is Connor Stevenson. Well, Stevenson, again, in and out of the lineup this year for the Spartans. He's making just his 4th start of the campaign, but he's been good in his appearances, 8 of 17 on the year. Takes the first pitch down Main Street for a strike, and it's 0-1. 8 hits, all singles for Stevenson. He scored 7 runs, driven in 4. Big at bat for him early on in this game. Down and out for a ball, 1-1. Ground ball. Stop made by the shortstop. The throw to third, and he's off the base, and everyone's going to be safe. Pat Bloom coming out to argue for the Bears. It's Grant Hutchison, the umpire in the field. He was behind the plate for Game 1 yesterday. There'll be an error there on the Bears. No hit for the Spartans. And it will load the bases up. Well, let's see. Hutchison's going to talk to Jeffrey Clifford, the home plate umpire now. And they do call him safe. So the call stands, and this will be a big situation here for the Spartans with the bases loaded and 2 away. Logan Andraco, who has been swinging a great bat for the last few series, will step to the plate here in an RBI chance. Andraco, one of the 2 Spartan hits today, came back in the first inning to lead the game off. He's hitting at .354 now. And he chops that one. First base side. Andraco running hard. The flip to the pitcher covering. And the play is made for the final out of the inning. So the Spartans load the bases, but unable to score despite a 2-out rally. And we'll move along to the 3rd inning. The score is still WashU 4, Case Western Reserve nothing. Bears will have the 5, 6, and 7 hitters coming up. Brandon Boudet, Evan Minarvik, and Sam Polk when we return. Welcome back is first pitch. Brandon Boudet hits into the air, shallow left. Stevenson lining it up and makes the catch for the out. And one pitch, one out in the third for Stankowski, who retires the leadoff hitter for the first time today. Much needed there. Well, again, we'll see if Stankowski can settle in. He's gotten 3 straight outs now after allowing 2 runs in the second, 2 in the first. Menarvik, the batter, and the first pitch from Stankowski held that one a little too long as it pulls into the left-handed batter's box for ball 1. Popped up, right field, shallow, coming in as Harms, calls off Alonso and makes the catch. And 2 quick outs in the inning so far for Stankowski, who could use a quick one here. That'll bring Sam Polk to the plate. Polk doubled in his first at-bat last inning. Hit a hard line drive to right field. And again, the ball carrying well got just over the head of Nick Harms, actually tipped off the tip of his glove. He hits that one into right field, this time right at Harms, who barely has to move. And it takes Stankowski all of 4 pitches to retire the side in the third for the Bears. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. To the bottom of the third we go. Meat of the Spartans order due up. Anderson, Powers, and Harms as they try to put a dent in a 4-0 WashU lead. Jack Anderson to lead things off, grounded into fielder's choice in the first inning. And takes ball 1 here, 1-0. Anderson now hitting at .394. Another really nice year for Jack Anderson. 2-0 as that one misses outside. And again, Anderson, who's a veteran hitter here, I'm sure he knows he's facing a pitcher who tends to work around the strike zone, and with a 2-0 count, Anderson should get a pitch to hit here. Let's see. And yeah, he takes a big cut at a breaking ball, and that's daring there from Gomez, who throws the breaking ball but does it with a 2-0 count and gets Anderson swinging and missing. It's now 2-1. The fastball swung on, grounded up through the middle, and it's a base hit for Anderson. Anderson Gomez to Jack Anderson. And Jack inflicting some Anderson on Anderson violence there with the base hit up the middle. And there's a runner on at first with nobody out. Yesterday we had Connor Lindsay, the catcher for WashU, facing Patrick O'Connor. So today it's Anderson Gomez versus Jack Anderson. As James Powers fouls off that first pitch, 0-1. Powers squaring a bump, pulls it back, and takes ball 1. 1-1 the count. Little unusual to see Powers bunting there. Might be as much of anything a decoy to try to pull that third baseman in. Might have worked. Let's see. Swinging away here, pulls that one down the first baseline, and it's a fair ball. Fair ball. That one gets into the corner. Anderson will stop at third as the throw comes in. And it's a double for James Powers, his team leading 18th of the season. And the Spartans have something cooking here with 2 in scoring position and nobody out for Nick Harms. Well, we've said it before plenty of times, but Nick has a way of inflicting harm, pun intended, against his hometown team in WashU, and certainly an opportunity to do that here. RBIs number 49 and 50 potentially on the base pass here for Harms as he takes the fastball up high for a ball. Harms went down looking at a called third strike his first time up. Gomez was able to dot a fastball in that lower inside corner against him. 1-0 to Harms. And that time takes the inside pitch for a ball, 2-0. Sky's getting a little ominous looking out here. There is some potential for rain early in the afternoon. And Harms takes a cut at the 2-0, fouls it back. Well, the Spartans haven't been able to capitalize on it, but again, you could see a pattern with Gomez where he is very much down the middle after he falls behind in the count. We saw that with Anderson. He swung and missed at a pitch down the middle there. Harms fouling that one back. Now it's 3-1. And again, if you're Harms here, even with first base open, you've got to be ready to take a good cut of this, and you know Nick will be. You have Dane Camphausen protecting you out on deck, and certainly the last thing the Bears want to do is put the potential game-tying run at the plate in Camphausen, and they'll do just that. Second walk of the game issued by Gomez, and that will load them up for Dane Camphausen, who has been a one-man wrecking crew in UAA play. Camphausen 0 for 1 with a fly out to right in his first at-bat today. In yesterday's game, Camphausen 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a double. And Camphausen hoping to get a big hit here. First pitch to Camphausen. And he went around to that one, 0-1. This is the guy you want at the plate right now if you're the Spartans. Camphausen, who's been good all year long, has been just absolutely on fire during UAA play. And I have to imagine the early, well, not even early anymore, but the front runner for the UAA hitter of the year. He hits that one sky high to right field. Should be deep enough to get the run in. We'll see if the Spartans risk it. They will. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's up the first baseline, and Anderson will score. Dunn did a good job to line himself up well for that, but no chance to get Anderson. Powers moves to third on the play. It's an RBI for Camphausen, and the Spartans on the board now. It is 4-1. So that brings Zach Carinci to the plate. So first and third, Harms good speed at first base, and we'll see if the Spartans try a play here with first and third and one away. Carinci at the plate. He takes the first pitch fastball right at the letters for a strike, 0-1. There's action in the WashU bullpen. Throw down to first, and Harms gets back. I believe that's Hank Weiss warming in the bullpen for the Bears. And Weiss, who, if that is him, again, a little tough to see, is the pickoff attempt, and they get Harms. Well, the first one was close. The second one close as well. Harmslide got back in there, but he is picked off, and that is a huge second out for WashU. So we'll see if Carinci can at least get across another run here. He'll need a hit to do so. And he puts that in the air, down the line and right. Long run over for Dunn, still coming, but it lands in front of him. And the count goes to 0-2 on Carinci. Again, after a slow start to the year, much like last season, Carinci has been on fire as of late. He's now hitting at .330 on the year. 2 home runs, 19 runs batted in. He went 1 for 3 with an RBI in yesterday's game. Fastball misses up high. Carinci takes it. Good eye at the plate for Carinci. Zach does a really good job of shortening up that swing when he falls behind in the count. Up high, 2-2. But he's got that ability with 2 strikes to take a little bit of a shorter swing and just muscle a ball into the shallow outfield. He's so good at that. 2-2 pitch on the way. And in the air, right field, right at Dunn, who takes a few steps in and makes the catch for the out, and that ends the inning. So the Spartans threaten, but only come up with 1 run in the third. They do get on the board, though. It's now 4-1. WashU leading as we move to the fourth. 8-9-1 in the Bears order. Burke, Dunn, and Pellegrino due up when we come back. Miles Burke will lead things off for the Bears in the fourth. WashU leading 4-1 in game 2 of 4 of the series. Game 1 of 2 today on UAA doubleheader day here at Nobby's Ballpark. Burke takes the first pitch outside, 1-0. You know, for all the Spartans' success this season, one of the things that really hasn't gotten mentioned a ton is their home winning streak. Pitch is up high, 2-0. Case Western Reserve now 21 straight wins dating back to last season. It's been over a year since the team has lost a game at home. Called strike brings the count to 2-1. Line drive, center field, and that'll drop in front of Andraco. As Burke with the hit, he's on for the second time today, and for the third time in 4 innings, the Bears have the leadoff man on. Also ends a stretch of 5 straight runners retired, batters retired, I should say, by Stankowski, who needed just 4 pitches to get through last inning. And now we'll face the 9-hitter Dunn and starts him off with a breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. Another breaking ball, that time outside corner. Nice pitch from Stankowski, who gets that in the count 0-2. Archer tied for the team lead with 6 wins this season. This is outside there. It's 1-2. In the dirt. Nice block by Jack Anderson. Burke unable to move up. It's a good job by Jack. You know, it's trendy for catchers now to try to throw their glove at a ball like that, but the good ones are able to throw their whole body to block those pitches. Breaking ball outside corner called strike 3. Dunn took 3 breaking pitches on the outside corner, all for strikes. And Stankowski gets the strikeout of Dunn for the first out of the inning. Burke still at first. Now back to the top of the order for Shane Pellegrino, who's 2 for 2 in this game. Scored the first run of the game for the Bears after tripling to lead the game off, and then singled in a run in the second inning. He takes the first pitch fastball outside, and the count goes to 1-0. Burke takes his lead at first. And that one misses. It's 2-0. That one way outside behind the hitter. Somehow Jack Anderson gets the glove and fields it cleanly. But either way, the count now 3-0 on Pellegrino, with 1 away and 1 on. And swinging 3-0, and it's popped up in foul territory. Camphausen underneath it. And that is a huge second out. Pellegrino swinging 3-0 there. And if you're going to do that, you certainly don't want a result like that. That might turn this inning on its head a little bit. So the pop out for the second out of the frame, and now a chance to escape the frame here with Martyr coming up. He's 1 for 1 today, swinging at that pitch in the air, deep towards center field, but Andreyko there now circles, reaches out, makes the catch. And the inning is over, and so, despite a leadoff single, Stankowski works around it, pitches a scoreless frame, and we will move to the bottom of the 4th with WashU leading 4-1. For Case Western Reserve this inning, it'll be Alonzo, Arterburn, and Stevenson. Bottom of the order, it's a 3-run deficit for the Spartans when we return. Well, the Spartans started to break through last inning against Gomez, but inning derailed slightly by a pickoff at first base. Now Franco Alonso trying to bunt his way on, and that is a beauty of a bunt. Gomez's throw to first and pulls the first baseman off the bag. That'll be an infield bunt single for Alonso, his second hit of the game, and the Spartans have the leadoff man on here. We have not seen that a lot from Alonso this year.
Arterburn.
And he caught WashU by surprise a little bit with the third baseman Minarvik playing back. And that is as good as you can execute that play. And so now the leadoff man is on for the Spartans. Arterburn at the plate. And Arterburn swings and lines that through for a base hit. And so for the second straight inning, the Spartans have the first two base runners on here. Singles on the first two pitches of the inning. And now Connor Stevenson will be the batter. And let's see if Stevenson is looking to lay down a bunt here. With two on and nobody out. Dunn is expecting the bunt here. You know, the Spartans are fairly good at the Butcher Boy play. That one bunted back to the pitcher. Throw goes to first, right on target against the speedy Stevenson. And that's a underratedly difficult play to make by Gomez, but he executed it well. And so the Spartans move both runners up on the sac bunt by Stevenson. Arterburn to second, Alonzo to third. Now one out, and that will bring up Logan Andreyko. Andreyko was hitting with the bases loaded in the second inning, but on the first pitch, grounded one to the first baseman. Hitting here with two in scoring position and one away. Big at bat in this game. Fastball there, misses outside to Andreyko, and it's 1-0. In the dirt, 2-0. Huge, huge, huge at bat here for Logan Andreyko. With the big batters coming up now for the Spartans in two in scoring position, then you get a chance to really put a dent in this WashU lead. Another one outside, it's 3-0. Now again, normally you'd see the Spartans hitters be aggressive on this 3-0 pitch. We'll see what Andreyko's doing here. Jack Anderson looming out on deck. And he takes it up high, ball 4. That is already the third walk issued by Gomez, who again came into the game with just 8 walks allowed in 27 2/3 innings. And we'll see Pat Bloom coming out, and I believe that's going to be it for Gomez here as he will go to his bullpen. And we'll have to see what number. I believe it was Hank Weiss warming up before. They haven't opened the bullpen gate yet, although a pitcher was moving toward the gate. But it looks like Gomez may get at least one more batter here, but it is the ever-dangerous Jack Anderson, who is 1 for 2 in the game and has scored the only run for the Spartans after singling in his last at-bat. One out, and the bases will be loaded. And let's see if the goal was to get the pitcher some more time to warm up, or no, this will be Gomez here. So Pat Bloom, the head coach for the WashU Bears, known for his expertise with pitchers, trusting his first-year pitcher Gomez here, who is pitching in his home state of Ohio, facing Jack Anderson, first pitch, and a little high, ball 1 to Anderson. Anderson, 4 for 10 with the bases loaded this season, batting at .400. He's driven in 29 runs this year, 3 home runs. Swings at that one, hits it in the air, deep towards center field. Going back is Boudet. He'll have a beat on it and makes the catch for the out. Tagging from third is Alonzo. He'll be able to trot home on the sacrifice fly for Anderson. That's Jack's 5th RBI of the series, and it cuts the WashU lead to 4-2. Arterburn moved up to third on the sac fly. And so the Spartans now cut the lead to 2 runs and a chance for James Powers now to try to drive a run in here with 2 outs. Powers 1 for 2 with a double. Pulled the ball down the right field line his last time up and takes a first pitch breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-1. WashU's playing Powers straight up in the infield, and that's how you have to play him. He could take the ball either way. Great back control for Powers. And going with a pitch there, but fouls it off, and now he's behind in the count 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Outside, 1-2 on Powers. Powers leads all Spartan players this season with 51 runs batted in. He's hitting at .365 on the year. A fantastic addition to this team, the graduate student who played most of his undergraduate career at Anna Maria College in Massachusetts. He hits that in the air, deep towards the gap in right center, but high enough that the center fielder Boudet can circle underneath it and make the catch for the out. And once again, a promising start to the inning for the Spartans, who do cash in a run, but unable to find an equalizer here. And it's now 4-2 as we move along into the fifth. The Bears coming up to bat, heart of their order, Miller, Clegg, and Boudet when we come back. Clayton Miller, the three-hitter leading things off for the Bears in the fifth. It's 4-2 WashU. Miller takes that pitch down and out from Stankowski, 1-0. After allowing 2 runs in each of the first and second innings, Stankowski has pitched 2 scoreless innings. But begins the fifth here in a 2-run hole, 4-2 the score, Bears leading. That ball rocketed deep towards left field. Stevenson back, looking up, but it's gone. Solo home run for Clayton Miller, his team-leading 5th of the season. And it's now 5-2, the Bears with the lead. Well, Miller left little doubt about that one. An absolute rocket shot to left field. And the Bears lead back up to 3 now.
Now batting for the Bears, first baseman. No.
And that one hit hard to left field. Stevenson back, reaching up, but it's over his head. And he'll drop in for extra bases. Pulling into second base with a double is Clegg. So Clegg with his second hit of the game. And the Bears have 2 extra base hits, including the home run to start the fifth. And this is one where if you're head coach Matt Englander, you've got to be a little careful here where you don't want this game to get out of reach. Brandon Boudet now will step to the plate, but first a meeting with head coach Pat Bloom. So nobody out. Runner at second. Boudet the batter. Brandon 0 for 2 in the game. An RBI, fielder's choice, and a fly out to left in his 2 trips to the plate. He squares to bunt here, but bunts it foul, and it's an 0-1 count. You know, you're in a bit of a tough situation here if you're Matt Englander, because this is clearly a day where Archer Stankowski doesn't have his best stuff. And you want to see if he can pitch out of it, as that one skips in the dirt, gets away from Anderson, and moving up to third on a wild pitch is Clegg. So again, you know, it's a day where Stankowski doesn't have his best stuff. You want to try to push him as far as he could go. Outside to Boudet, 2-1. 2-1 pitch now on the way. And a called strike, 2-2. Jackson Brewer warming up in the Spartans bullpen. And maybe coming up towards the end of the day here for Stankowski if he can't figure his way out of this one. Ball's popped up in the infield. That'll help. Arterburn there makes the catch, and that's the first out of the inning. And most importantly, Clegg has to hold at third.
Now batting for Washington University, number 2.
You know, the interesting thing about this situation is that you sort of walk the fine line right now if you're the Spartans between, you know, when do you take Stankowski out of this game, but also you are pretty confident that your bats have some runs in this. That one grounded to short. Arterburn with it, comes up throwing to first, and what a play. That is a tremendous play by Arterburn as the Spartans pulled the infield in to prevent the run from scoring. You run the risk in those situations, the ball getting through the infield on what would have been an out, but Arterburn handled that perfectly, not only knocking it down, which is the top priority there, but on addition, he's able to get up, make the throw, and retire the runner Minarvik at first base. Tremendous play. And so that one now misses down and away to Polk, and it's 1-0. Polk 1 for 2 with a double to right in his first at bat. Oh, he's also flown out to right. Hit the ball hard twice today. And takes the breaking ball in the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Well, Polk's showing a tendency to pull the ball in the first 2 at-bats. You can't blame Stankowski for throwing soft stuff on that outside corner to him here. And a timeout called. Jack Anderson's going to trot out to have a talk with Stankowski here. Anderson will retreat to the plate now after the brief meeting. Down and in, ball 3, 3-1. The Spartans have the advantage of a fairly well-rested bullpen. The only pitcher they needed to use out of the pen yesterday was Patrick O'Connor. But they'll have to get into their bullpen probably early in this one. On the outside corner, and the count goes full, 3-2. So 3-2, 2 outs. The Bears had a runner at third and nobody out, but a pop out and a ground out have held that runner there. Chance for Stankowski to limit the damage in the inning if he can get out of the frame as that one popped up. Left field, Stevenson has it, now settles underneath it in front of the track and makes the catch. And Polk retired to end the frame, so could have been worse there. The only run coming across for the Bears on the leadoff solo home run by Clayton Miller. And we will move along into the bottom of the fifth. It'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Spartans who trail by 3. Harms, Camphausen, and Carinci due up when we come back. Well, the Spartans trailing 5-2, and WashU will go to their bullpen and turn to what has been a big weapon for them out of the bullpen this season in Hank Weiss. Weiss 3-2 with a 4.87 ERA. He's made 15 appearances all out of the bullpen, but he's thrown a total of 40 2/3 innings this year. So he's got a lot of innings. He, again, not a guy who only comes in for an inning or two. He's someone who works often. He's having discussion now with the umpire regarding delivery and coming set on the mound. I believe. We'll see what happens. If there's anything to be made of that. Weiss, 60 strikeouts this season, just 12 walks. So that 5-1 strikeout to walk ratio, pretty good. And he's gotten that done in 40 2/3 innings. He's allowed just 29 hits as well, 195 of average. And it makes you wonder how, with a guy who has done that good at limiting base runners, again, less than a base runner allowed per inning for him, or right about one base runner per inning, that he's given up that many runs. It's a little bit rare. He'll face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters to start things off for the Spartans. Harms, Camphausen, and Carinci. Weiss, the righty, 6-foot-tall junior, and just seeing this, a local guy, Chagrin Falls, Ohio. Chagrin Falls High School. Probably one of those Chagrin Falls hoodlums who steals the pumpkins from those Solon residents annually. It's an inside joke if you've ever lived on the southeast suburbs of Ohio. Chagrin Falls, there's a big hill in Chagrin Falls. And on Halloween, all of the Chagrin Falls kids typically go and they roll pumpkins down that hill. They smash at the bottom of the hill. And usually they get those pumpkins from their neighbor, Solon, where I just happen to live. So, yeah, the old Chagrin Falls pumpkin roll.
Starting off the inning for your Spartans is number
So we'll see what Weiss can do here against Nick Harms, the northeastern Ohio native for the Bears, facing the St. Louis native for Case Western Reserve. Harms 0 for 1 in the game, struck out looking and drew a walk in his 2 plate appearances. First pitch from Weiss, fastball, misses outside for a ball, 1-0. Probably tells you all you need to know about how important this game is to WashU, that they're turning to Weiss out of the bullpen this early. Swing and a miss at a good breaking pitch, and it's 1-1. But to make the move to Weiss now and probably expect him to pitch at least 3-4 innings in this game is impressive. That ball hit in the air, left field, coming over and making the catch is the left fielder Polk, who had to go a long way into the opposite field to get that one and take a hit away from Harms. So one gone now, and that will bring up Dane Camphausen. Camphausen 0 for 1. He's flown out to right twice. The last time resulted in a sacrifice fly, so he's got an RBI on the day. It's 51st of the year. Ties him with James Powers for the team lead. First pitch to Camphausen. Fastball below the knees. An easy place to miss against the 6'8 Dane Camphausen. A lot more real estate below the knees for Dane than your typical baseball player. The 1-0 on the way. Swing and a miss. Good pitch. And it's 1-1. And can't hold up on the 1-1, and it goes to 1-2. That one misses outside. So it's 2-2 now on Camphausen. Weiss sets and delivers. And a swing and a miss at a high fastball, strike 3. And Camphausen down on strikes. And there are 2 gone now for Zach Carinci.
Now batting for the Spartans is number 31, Zach Carinci.
So Carinci 0 for 2 in the game. He's flown out to right field twice. And hits that in the air to right field again. Dunn lines it up. And moving towards the line, makes the catch for the final out of the inning. So quick first inning for Weiss, and the Bears maintain a 5-2 lead as we move into the 6th. We'll be back in just a minute. New pitcher on the mound for the Spartans will be the first-year Zach Barnes out of Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Up and down season for Barnes, what you can expect probably from a first-year collegiate pitcher. But has shown a lot of promise at times. An ERA of 6 on the year through 10 appearances. Last pitched in the opening game of the series against NYU and took the loss in that one. Fastball catches for a strike. It's 1-1 on Burke at the plate. Barnes 2-2 on the year with a pair of saves. One misses ball 2, 2-1. "21 innings of work this year for Barnes over his 10 appearances. He struck out 26, walked 13. Opponents hitting .358 against him. Pitches up and in for a ball, 3-1. Barnes has to try to keep this at a 3-run game, give the bats a chance. Letter high fastball for a strike, 3-2. And fouled away, so Burke stays alive. And takes it for called strike 3. So Barnes gets off to a good start to his day against the 8-hitter Burke, and that'll bring Magnus Dunn to the plate. Dunn 0 for 1 with the sacrifice bunt. Final line on Archer Stankowski: 5 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs. He walked 1, struck out 2. Dunn fouls it back. And it's an 0-1 count on the WashU right fielder. Dunn a good ball player, not your typical 9-hitter. Called strike, and it's 0-2. Watching him here a little bit, his style of play reminds me a little bit of Brett Gardner for the Yankees. He takes that in the dirt, but good contact guy, tough player, runs well, plays good right field. One and two here on Dunn. Swung on, lifted into shallow center, and that's down for a base hit. That's a good job by Dunn there, who fell behind in the count. And just, again, talked about it with Zach Carinci for the Spartans, but they're Dunn just shortening up the swing and dropping it into shallow center for a base hit. So 1 out, and that will bring up Shane Pellegrino. Pellegrino 2 for 3 in the game. Triple in the first, scored a run, an RBI single in the second. He popped out on a 3-0 pitch in foul territory his last time up. And grounds that one down the first base side, just foul. It's 0-1. Powers was charging that hard at third base. He was hoping to get a shot to get the out at first there. Instead it goes foul. It's 0-1 on Pellegrino. Pickoff attempt at first, not in time. The Spartans have had their chances in this game. In both innings that they scored, they had opportunities to cash in big, but could not take advantage. 1-1 now the count on Pellegrino. And in the second inning, the Spartans didn't score, but loaded the bases with 2 away. So, you know, it's been a day where the Spartans have had opportunities, but have only been able to pick up 2 runs in the game as Dunn dives back in just ahead of the tag. Dunn now takes his lead. He's stolen 14 bases on 16 attempts this year. Barnes dots the outside corner for strike 2, 1-2 the count. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Ground ball, and that's through for a base hit. So second straight batter that Barnes has gotten ahead in the count 1-2 on. And the second straight batter that has singled off of him on a 1-2 count. That one a little bit different. You know, Dunn was able to get the bat on a good pitch there. Barnes caught a little bit too much of the strike zone with that last one. And now he's got to walk the tightrope a little bit here with some of the better bats in the WashU lineup coming up, beginning with Harry Martyrer, who is 1 for 2 in the game with a single fly out and was also hit by a pitch. And that one hit hard towards short. Gloved by Arterburn for 1 to first. And dug out by Camphausen, and that'll end the inning. So first pitch swinging, Martyrer grounds into a 6-4-3 double play. Took a nice play by Arterburn, a quick turn from Alonso, and a nice glove at first by Camphausen to make the play. But that is huge for the Spartans, who escaped the 6th inning without allowing a run in and will now try to go to work here in the bottom of the 6th when we come back. Due up for the Spartans, bottom of the order. It'll be Alonso, Arterburn, and Stevenson to face Weiss when we return. Case Western Reserve University leading 5-2. Pardon me, trailing 5-2, excuse me. As we move along to the 6th. 5 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for WashU. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Case Western Reserve in this one. Franco Alonso, 2 for 2 in the game. A single up the middle in the 2nd, a bunt single in the 4th, and takes a first pitch strike as he faces Weiss for the first time. Weiss came into the game, retired all 3 batters he faced in the 5th. Barnes trying to get some momentum going here. Another good pitch on that lower inside corner against Alonso, and it goes to 0-2. That ball grounded over to first base. There with it is Martyrer. Flips to the pitcher, Weiss covering for the out, and there's 1 gone. So Alonso retired for the first time today, and that'll bring Nate Arterburn to the plate. Arterburn 1 for 1, a walk and a single today. Weiss working quickly, his first pitch, and up and in. And that'll be ball 1. Logan Andraco yelling from the hole that it hit Arterburn's head, but I think he might be the only one in the ballpark who thought that. Called strike there, and it's 1-1. You know, Arterburn barely moved, so, you know, typically you'd see the reaction coming from him, especially if you get hit, you know, in your helmet. 2-1 the count. Arterburn now hitting at .253 on the season. Waits the 2-1 from Weiss. And that one fouled back. Count evens 2-2. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, chopped foul. Count stays at 2-2. Connor Stevenson is out on deck for the Spartans. Nothing else. Arterburn hoping to work a good at bat here against Weiss, who has breezed through the first 4 batters he's faced. And gets a swing and a miss there for strike 3. Second strikeout for Weiss today. He's retired the first 5 batters now. And they'll bring Connor Stevenson to the plate. Stevenson 0 for 1, grounded into a fielder's choice in the second, and a sacrifice bunt for him in the fourth. First pitch to Stevenson, the senior out of Normal, Illinois. And he swings and misses 0-1. Another one right there for a strike, and it's 0-2. From Weiss to Stevenson. And up and in, ball 1, 1-2 the count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that ends the inning. 2 strikeouts in the frame. Weiss has retired all 6 batters he's faced in order, and we'll move into the 7th with WashU leading 5-2. Due up this inning for the Bears, it'll be Miller, Clegg, and Boudet, the heart of their order, when we come back. Welcome back to Nobby's Ballpark as we begin the 7th inning. First game of a doubleheader between these two teams, and WashU has had the advantage since early on. They were up 4-0 after 2 innings and now lead 5-2 as we move to the 7th. Second inning of work for Zach Barnes, who got out of the 6th inning with an inning-ending double play and delivers a first pitch ball to Clayton Miller. Miller, a solo home run in his last at-bat, his 5th of the season. Takes another one up and in. It's 2-0. Miller 1 for 3 in the game today. Outside corner that time from Barnes for a strike, and it's 2-1. Spartan bats have been a little quieter today than yesterday as that one grounded through for a base hit. So Miller with the leadoff single, his 2nd hit of the day. 11th hit of the game for the Bears. And that'll bring Carson Clegg to the plate. Clegg hitting at .333. He's got 2 hits and 3 at-bats so far in the game. Spartans trying to turn 2 again here behind Barnes. Miller takes his lead at first. The first pitch, a swing and a miss at a breaking ball, 0-1. Here's the 0-1. Ground ball, first base. Camphausen with it. Goes to second for one. Back to first, and not in time. The throw is a little offline. Either way, it'll go as a fielder's choice. Good job by Camphausen to get the out at second. 3-6, Miller retired on the putout, and that'll be the first out of the inning.
Now batting for Washington University, number 1, Brandon Boudet.
And so the batter now coming to the plate will be Brandon Boudet. Boudet hitting at .299. 0 for 3 so far with a sacrifice fly in today's game. Taken down low, and it's 1-0. The top 5 batters in the Bears order have each driven in 1 run. That is how WashU has gotten its 5-2 lead. 1-0 pitch. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Throw down to second, and not in time. Stolen base for Clegg. That is his first of the year. And he's now standing at second with the 1-1 count on Boudet at the plate. So an RBI opportunity for Brandon Boudet, the Bears center fielder. Here's the 1-1. That ball rocketed right field, but right at Harms. He's got it lined up for the out. Clegg tags from second, and he'll move up to third. And he'll stand there now with 2 away.
For the Bears, number 2, Evan Manarvik.
And Evan Manarvik will be the batter here, trying to extend the WashU lead. So 2 outs, runner at third, Manarvik at the plate. Barnes trying to get through the inning unscored on here. And delivers the first pitch in the dirt. And it's 1-0 on Manarvik. You do have to be careful here if you're Jack Anderson and Zach Barnes on those pitches in the dirt with Clegg at third. He could score if it gets far enough away. That time a good job by Anderson to block the ball. 1-0. Ground ball hit towards second, should end the inning. Alonso with it, lofts the throw over to first base and gets it there in time to get the out. And that will get the Spartans out of the 7th despite a hit. The Bears strand a runner at third, and we'll move to the bottom of the 7th. The Spartans down 3, but sending the top of the order to the plate against Weiss this inning. And Draco Anderson and Powers due up when we get back. Well, the Spartans will enter the 7th trailing by 3 and just trying to break through here against Weiss. They'll send the top of the order. Weiss has looked very good through his first 2 innings of work. He sat down all 6 batters he's faced. He struck out 3. He'll have the top of the Spartans order coming up this inning, and Draco followed by Anderson and Powers. And again, it's a Spartan offense that certainly you trust to be able to find 3 runs with 9 outs to work with, but they'll have some tough pitchers coming up. And again, not sure what the plan is here for Weiss, if they look for him to finish the game out potentially, or if the idea would be for Weiss to go another inning or 2 and then turn it over to the Bears closer, Clayton Miller, who is actually in this game also their second baseman. As Andreyko takes the first pitch from Weiss outside, 1-0. Weiss has needed just 22 pitches to record the first 6 outs of his day. Behind in the count, 1-0. Make it 2-0 as that misses outside. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Up and out, 3-0. Let's see how aggressive Andreyko is here, 3-0. Gotta imagine he's taking here against a pitcher of Weiss's caliber, but let's see. And he does take, and not really a pitch you want to swing at 3-0 anyway. It was a fastball well placed on the lower inside corner by Weiss to bring the count to 3-1. Now 3-1 pitch to Andreyko. And up high, ball 4. So the Spartans get their first base runner of the day against Weiss as Andreyko reaches first.
Next up for the Spartans, number 5, Jack Anderson.
Now Jack Anderson will be the batter. Jack hitting at .399 on the season. A sacrifice fly in his last at bat. He's 1 for 2 in the game with a single, a run scored, and an RBI. He's driven in 5 through the first game plus of this series. First pitch to Anderson. Low ball 1, 1-0. And Weiss, after pinpoint accuracy for his first 2 innings, has struggled a bit with control here in his 3rd inning of work. Something to keep an eye on. Can he settle back in? Here's the 1-0. Misses outside again, 2-0. That one broke a little before the plate, and that will now bring Pat Bloom out to the mound, as he will try to settle Weiss down here. Weiss, the son of Cleveland Guardians Executive Vice President Neil Weiss. So he's got baseball in his background. Again, a local resident, Chagrin Falls, Ohio. Two 2-0 the count when we resume here against Jack Anderson, the All-America second team selection last year, and All-America preseason selection first team this year. He's got a runner at first and nobody out. 2-0 offering to Anderson. And on the inside corner, good pitch by Weiss. Looked like maybe a changeup on that inner edge that had Anderson fooled, and brings the count to 2-1. It's a huge called strike there for Weiss to get. And another one, he came back to it again and parks it on that inside corner. It's now 2-2. Well, do you try to come back to that again here if you're Weiss, or do you go to the fastball? Pickoff attempt to first, awkwardly thrown over. Two-two pitch on the way. Anderson awaits. Here's the 2-2. It swung on chopper. Third base side. Charging is Minarvik, and his throw low, but a nice job to stay down on it by Martyr, the first baseman, and put it away for the out. Minarvik just gunned that over to first base.
Number 12, James Powers.
But it was an absolute laser of a throw. It probably didn't get more than a foot above the ground the entire way. But a good job to put that one away. And so there's one gone in the inning now. Andreyko moves into scoring position for the team's RBI leader, James Powers, who's driven in 51 this year. And inside, gets away from the catcher. Somehow that didn't hit Powers. And Andreyko will move up to third on a wild pitch. You know, sometimes in these situations, you'll see the batter not lean into that, but on a pitch like that, they're not looking to avoid it. They're just trying to get on base. It's not how James Powers is built, though. He's a guy who wants to take his shot swinging the bat. He'll get a chance here now. 1-0 with a runner at third, down 3. And did he hold on that one? They'll check in the field. He did. And the count goes to 2-0 on Powers. So Weiss has now been behind all three hitters this inning. He ended up walking Andraco, getting a ground out from Anderson, now behind 2-0 on Powers. And Powers muscles that one foul on 2-0, 2-1. Two and one the count on the Spartans' third baseman, Powers. Pitch from Weiss. And fouled back again, 2-2. So a two-strike count now on Powers. Two-two pitch now. Outside, ball three. Powers, with less than 2 outs in an inning and a runner in third, has driven the run in 65% of the time this season. Has another opportunity here, a 3-2 count with one away. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss, strike three. Powers down swinging, and that is a massive out. As A, it keeps the runner at third. B, it keeps Powers off the base pass. And C, with Harms looming on deck, now stepping to the plate, he can't tie the game with one swing. So again, a massive out there for Weiss. And now Nick Harms will bat with 2 outs and a runner at third. And he takes the fastball up high, 1-0. Here's the 1-0. Fastball low, 2-0. Again, Harms in 9 games entering today against WashU, 7 career home runs against the Bears. Takes that up high. It's 3-0, and a walk here would put the potential game-time run at the plate in the form of Dane Camphausen. You got to believe Harms has the green light, 3-0. We'll see if he chooses to take advantage of it. 3-0 pitch on the way from Weiss. And the breaking ball misses outside, ball 4. And I'm not sure Weiss was pitching around Harms there, but he didn't look like he was going to give Harms anything to hit in that at bat. And so now first and third with 2 outs for Dane Camphausen, who could tie the game with one swing. Camphausen is 12 home runs on the season. Dane 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly in this one today. Facing Weiss for the second time, he struck out against him back in the 5th. First pitch. And a swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Camphausen has not looked good at the plate so far against Weiss. Hill 1 pitch. Weiss really taking his time. And Camphausen skies it high, but fouling out of play, and it's 0-2. First and third, 2 away. The Spartans down 3, trying to get a run across here in the 7th. Here's the 0-2. Inside, almost hit Camphausen as the count goes to 1-2. He came with that fastball inside, and we've seen Weiss use that fastball up and in as a setup pitch to go back down and away with that hard slider. Let's see what he does here. 1-2. There it is, and he got Camphausen swinging for strike 3. So that'll end the inning. The Spartans leave runners stranded on the corners, and we'll move into the 8th in a 5-2 game, WashU leading. Bottom of the order for the Bears, Polk, Burke, and Dunn due up when we come back. The Spartans down 3 as we move to the 8th.
Sam Polk.
And it'll be the bottom of the WashU order to face Barnes for the second time. Actually, Polk and Burke will face him for the first time here. Dunn was the first, pardon me, let me rephrase that here. Burke was the first batter that Barnes saw. Polk getting his first look here and swings and misses 0-1. Good job by Barnes, who's held the Bears scoreless through his first 2 innings despite working around some trouble, and he'll have a leadoff runner on here on a single by Polk into center field.
Next up for the Bears, number 20, Miles Burke.
So nobody out, and now Miles Burke, the catcher, to the plate. Burke 1 for 2 in the game today. A walk, a single, and a strikeout looking in his three trips to the plate. Runner on at first, nobody out. The first pitch is line foul, and it's 0-1 on Burke. Throw down to first, not in time. Here's the 0-1. Barnes a really long time to the plate. That one ground to third. Powers gets knocked over by it. Throw to first, won't be in time. In fact, he won't make the throw, and that'll be an infield hit. Powers was guarding the line, but that ball was absolutely torched down that third base line. Couldn't glove it cleanly. That'll be hit number 13 for the Bears today. Back-to-back singles to start the 8th. And we'll see if Barnes can work around trouble once again here. He'll face the 9-hitter, Magnus Dunn. We'll see if he's bunting. He has a sacrifice bunt already today. Powers, a step in at the edge of the grass. Dunn does square to bunt, gets it nicely down the third base side. Barnes with it, hurries to throw to first and gets it there just in time. Really nice play by Zach Barnes.
Now batting for the Bears, number 17, Shane.
The runners move up to second and third on the play. And now 1 away. Back to the top of the order, and Shane Pellegrino now can make this a much more difficult task for the Spartans. With runners at second and third, 1 away, Pellegrino, 3 hits today. He's 3 for 4 in the game. And they'll say he went around to that one, 0-1. Pellegrino hitting at .355. He's driven in a team-high 34 runs entering play in the game. And a chance here to do some significant damage to the Spartans' hopes to come back in this one. Up and in with that pitch. It's 1-1. Spartans will pull the infield in. It worked for him earlier in the game on a ground ball to short with a runner at third. Arterburn able to cut the ball down, prevent the run from scoring. And the curveball tipped back into Jack Anderson's glove, and now the count at 1-2. The count at 1-2, you'll see Arterburn move significantly closer to third base. Here's the 1-2 offering from Barnes. And a ground ball, and that one just gets through, and it'll be an infield hit. Well, it's almost the same exact play as last time, but that one just out of the reach of Arterburn. And it allows the run to score. Burke holds, but an RBI single for Pellegrino, and that makes it 6-2 Bears. A couple of infield hits in the inning for WashU. They've turned it into a run so far. They extend their lead to 6-2. So it makes that task a little bit more difficult for the Spartans to come back in this one. Fastball there to Martyr now catches for a strike, and it's 0-1. Martyr grounded into an inning-ending double play his last time up. He's 1 for 3 in the game with a hit-by-pitch and an RBI single. The 0-1. Foul back. 0-2. Swing and a miss. And a big strikeout there for the second out as Martyr down swinging.
Now batting for the Bears, number 8, Clayton Miller.
So 2 gone now for a very dangerous hitter in Clayton Miller. Miller hitting at .362 on the year. He's got 2 hits in the game today, including a solo home run. And grounds that one up towards short. Arterburn with it, flips to second in time to get the out. And that ends the inning. But WashU adds on a run on 3 hits, and we'll move to the bottom of the 8th. 6 outs for the Spartans to work with. They trail by 4. It'll be Carinci, Alonso, and Arterburn due up when we come back. Case Western Reserve University trailing WashU 6-2 in the first game of a doubleheader today. The Bears took control of this one early, 2 in the first, 2 in the second. The Spartans cut it to a 2-run lead after 4 innings. But the Bears have added a run in the 5th, one just moments ago in the 8th. And WashU has a 4-run lead, matching their biggest of the game. Spartans 4 outs to work with, and some of this team's best innings have come on innings that the bottom part of the order has started rallies with. That being said, they're facing a tough pitcher here in Hank Weiss, who has looked very sharp for the most part today. He did run into some control issues last inning, escaped damage, leaving runners stranded at first and third, but the Spartans yet to get a hit off of Weiss in his 3 innings of work. Weiss entered the game in relief of Anderson Gomez. And again, he has been brilliant, beginning his 4th inning of relief work. First pitch on the way to Zach Carinci. And he swings, hard ground ball through for a base hit. So first pitch from Carinci, insides out one into right field. And the Spartans have the leadoff man on.
Now batting for your Spartans, number 2, Franco Alonso.
Down 4 here, the Spartans can be very selective at first base to see if Carinci will run or not here. You want to make sure you've got base runners right now. Although again, with 6 outs, you could try to get aggressive, get a runner into scoring position. That ball in the dirt, and that'll do it. A wild pitch moves Carinci up 90 feet, and he's now in scoring position for Franco Alonso, who's had himself a nice day. Alonso in the game today, 2 for 3. A pair of hits, a single up the middle. He had a bunt single as well. One 1-0 pitch to Alonso. And he cranks that one foul, 1-1. Again, Weiss accustomed to going long in games in relief. In his 15 relief appearances this season, he's gone 40 and 2/3 innings, so over 2 innings an appearance. He's in his 4th inning of work in today's game. In a game the Bears have to win at this point. Really, for the Bears, it's, probably a situation where you have to look to win out. Their season is going to be done after this weekend. They're not going to have a shot at the UAA championship. That's been decided, but this is a WashU team that appeared in the initial regional rankings, and certainly taking 3 out of 4 from the Spartans would go a long way to increase their tournament resume. Ground ball hit towards short. Pellegrino up with it. Throw to first. And there's the first out of the inning. Alonso retired. Carinci has to hold. And there's 1 out in the inning now with Nate Arterburn coming to the plate. Or at least due up, but it looks like we'll get a pinch hitter here. Let's see. Yeah, so Arterburn will leave the game, and it looks like Jay Smith will hit for him. Well, Jay Smith will get a chance here. Smith hitting a 188 on the season. But an opportunity for Jay to have an impact hit. Jay's had a tough time finding his way into the Spartans lineup with regularity. He's appeared in just 7 games this year, although 5 of those have been starts. He's 3 for 16 on the year, and just tough to get into a rhythm when you're not playing regularly. But again, with Jay, it's just been hard to see where he fits in the lineup this year. Throw goes down to second, not in time. Carinci back. Smith, the lefty, out of Goshen, Kentucky. And he muscles that one over the head of the third baseman, and it'll be a base hit for Jay Smith, who kind of shakes his head and says, hey, sometimes not how hard you hit them, sometimes it's where they fall, and that one drops in behind third base. Carinci had a hold on that one, but 2 on for Connor Stevenson, although it looks like the Spartans will bring a pinch hitter up here, and this will be Carson Walker coming to the plate for Stevenson. So a chance for Carson Walker now to keep the line moving. Walker hitting a 286 on the year. He's cooled off, and again, a lot of him cooling off has had to do with him finding his spot in the lineup. With Carinci returning to the team, that sort of eliminated that DH spot in the order, and that was where Walker was playing primarily. He checks his swing there. The ball's in the dirt, and that'll move both runners up. So Smith and Carinci both advance on the wild pitch. Second wild pitch of the inning by Weiss. And the Spartans now a chance to take a chunk out of this WashU lead with a base hit. And now Jay Smith will be run for here. And that is going to be Tommy Moonen who comes in as the pinch runner. So Moonen takes over for Smith. One 0 on the way. Outside, 2-0. There's action in the WashU bullpen in case Weiss can't escape the inning. 2-0 count now to Walker. Up and in, 3-0. Walk here would bring the tying run to the plate in the form of the leadoff hitter Logan Andraco. 1 out, 2 in scoring position for the Spartans, who have struggled to drive in runs with the opportunities they've had today. Weiss just rears back and throws a bullet down the middle, 3-1. 3-1 pitch to Walker. And he swings and misses behind the fastball there, and the count goes full 3-2 as Weiss battles back in this. 3-2 offering from Weiss to Walker. And a swing and a miss, strike three. Boy, what a job there by Weiss, who got behind in the count 3-0 and then battles back to strike out Walker on the next three pitches. And a huge second out in the inning. And it now falls on Logan Andraco here with two in scoring position. Andraco has walked in each of his last two at-bats. The second of those walks coming against Weiss. He's 1 for 2 in the game with a single back in the first inning. And he takes the fastball high, 1-0. Draco now tied for the team lead with 28 walks this season, along with Jack Anderson, who waits out on deck. And Draco ahead in the count, 1-0. Weiss set to deliver the pitch. And Andraco fouls that one back, 1-1. A little bit tardy on that pitch. Again, the Spartans have had their fair share of chances this game against both the starter for the Bears, Anderson Gomez, and now against Weiss, but they have not been able to cash in. Can they here in the eighth, down by 4, 2 in scoring position, and a timeout called. One on the way to Andraco. And he pops it up, foul territory and out of play, and now Weiss ahead in the count 1-2. And can end the inning with one big strike. 1-2 the count on Andraco. Can he come through here with that 1-2 count? 2 in scoring position, the pitch from Weiss. And it's popped up deep towards left field, but should be playable. And making the catch in left is Polk to end the inning. So once again, the Spartans are able to get 2 into scoring position, but cannot cash in. And we'll head into the ninth with Case Western Reserve down 4. Due up in the inning for the Bears. It will be their 4, 5, and 6 hitters, Clegg, Boudet, and Minarvik, when we return. Defensive changes behind Zach Barnes, who will come out for his 4th inning of relief work. It's been pretty good for the most part for Barnes, who did give up a run last inning. It's now 6-2 Bears as we begin the ninth. Matt Trout takes over in center field. Logan Andraco moves from center to left. And taking over at short is Grant Price after Nate Arterburn was pinch hit for in the bottom of the inning. First pitch from Barnes, who's thrown 40 through his first 3 innings of work, is up and into Carson Clegg. Now the 1-0 count. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Again, if the Spartans are going to look back at this one, they'll certainly get some, or I should say, rue some missed opportunities that they've had throughout the game to score runs. Runners at first and third for the team in the 7th. Couldn't get a run across. Runners at second and third in the 8th. Couldn't get the run. This one up in the infield. Barnes calls everyone off and in foul territory. Puts it away for the out. You don't often see the pitcher take charge on that, but that was one where Anderson didn't read it well off the bat. It was a long run in for Powers. Barnes, who saw it all the way, did a good job taking control and getting that out. Usually on those plays, you see the pitcher just get as far out of the way as he possibly can. But a good job there by Barnes to field his position. So that'll bring Brandon Boudet to the plate, who awaits the first pitch from Barnes and grounds it foul. Boudet flew out to right field in his first at bat. Six-2 Bears leading. Fastball in. It's 1-1. Wind picking up a little bit, blowing hard and out towards right center. That's a switch from earlier. 1-2 now the count. Spartans need 4 to tie, 5 to win in the 9th, at least. Barnes has got to get through a scoreless 9th first. Game 2 will begin about half an hour after this one ends. 2-2 on the way. And that one line, fair ball down the left field line by Boudet. He'll turn the corner at first and head to second. Stop there with a double. And he'll be in scoring position with one away.
Now batting for Washington University, number 2, Evan Menorvik.
So one out now, runner at second, and Evan Menorvik will be the batter. Menorvik grounded out to second base and is only a bat against Barnes today. He's 0 for 4 in the game. 2 flyouts, 2 groundouts for him. He's now 1 for 7 in the series as he takes the first pitch down low, 1-0. No action in the bullpen for the Spartans. This will be Barnes' game to try to finish up here. Sent foul by Menorvik, 1-1. Menorvik, one of the 2 Division I transfers, graduate transfers in the WashU lineup today, along with the batter on deck, Sam Polk. Menorvik from Northwestern, Polk from St. Louis University. That ball rocketed left field, going back, reaching out and making the catch is Logan Andreyko. And a good job to cover ground there for Andreyko, who, again, started and played the first, what would it be, 16 innings, 17 innings of this series in center field, and has that ability to cover a lot of ground and had to do so there on a hard hit ball by Menorvik. And now with 2 gone, that'll bring up Sam Polk, who's now hitting at .233 on the season. He's got 2 hits and 4 bats today, and he scored 2 runs. Doubled in the second, singled last inning, pickoff attempt down to second base. Tag applied by Alonso, but not in time. Popped up. Shallow left field in is Andreyko, and that'll retire the side. So the Spartans will try to pull off an improbable comeback here. They're down 4 as we move into the bottom of the 9th. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 in the order to start things off. Anderson, Powers, and Harms coming to the plate in the 9th when we return. Well, the Bears will turn to Hank Weiss here and hope he can finish out what has been a beautiful outing for him. He's pitched 4 scoreless innings so far in relief, trying to make it 5 and close out this game in the 9th. In between innings, Clayton Miller was out in the bullpen warming up. And again, Miller has served as the Bears' closer this year. He's got 6 saves on the season. And I would imagine in case of emergency, the Bears would pull that cord and bring him into the game. But no reason to believe right now that Weiss is not capable of closing this one out. He's been good so far. For Weiss in this game, in relief of Gomez, Weiss has gone 4 innings. He's given up just 2 hits, 2 walks. He's struck out 6. And he's thrown 62 pitches. So the pitch count getting up there. But again, Weiss accustomed to throwing a little deeper into games in relief. He does have the tough task of facing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters to start things off for the Spartans. But with that 4-run lead, it gives him a little bit of leeway to work with. That being said, you could get into trouble easily with guys like Harms and Camphausen and Anderson and Powers. This is a tough 4 to get through. So we'll see what the Spartans can do if they have any 9th inning magic here against the Bears. First pitch on the way to Jack Anderson, who grounded out to third in his last at-bat, and he takes it down and away for a ball, 1-0. Anderson 1 for 3 in the game, a single and a run scored in the third, drove in the Spartans' other run of the game with a sacrifice fly in the fourth. Those are the only 2 runs the Spartans have scored in this one. Bat's a little quiet today as Anderson muscles that one off foul, and it's 1-1. Again, despite that, the Spartans have had their opportunities throughout the day. They've left 11 men stranded on the base paths in this one. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. That's a good change up there by Weiss. Big first out here for Weiss with Anderson at the plate. Here's the 1-2. See if Anderson can do something about it as he gets that in the air, center field, deep, but Boudet should have a beat on it. Along the edge of the track, he reaches up and makes the catch for the out. That became a bit more of a difficult play than it looked like initially. Mentioned last half inning that the wind was starting to blow out towards right center, and I think that one got caught up in the jet stream a little bit and made Boudet really have to go back to get it, but no problem putting that one away for the out. And with 1 gone now, the Spartans down to their final 2 out with James Powers coming to the plate. Powers 1 for 4 in the game and swings and misses at the first pitch, 0-1. Now the 0-1. Foul back again, 0-2. Oh, 2 on the way to Powers. Weiss comes set, now delivers. Outside for a ball, 1-2. Two outs for the Spartans to work with. They need 4 runs. The 0-2 offering from Weiss. And Powers pops it up, foul and out of play. The good news if you're the Spartans is that Weiss is likely done for the series after today, regardless of the outcome in this game. On the outside corner, called strike 3. And now the Spartans down to their final out. So Case Western Reserve will need a rally here, down 4 as we move into, or as we are in the bottom of the 9th. 2 away, and Nick Harms will be the batter. Quiet game at the plate for Nick Harms, who is 0 for 2 with a pair of walks. And he takes that outside, ball 1. Foul back, 1-1 on Harms. It's been a relatively quiet series so far for Harms. He did drive in a run yesterday, had 2 hits. Bears have done a better job against him than they've done in the past. Down low, 2-1. Spartans scored 7 runs in the first inning with 2 outs yesterday, but swing and a miss there now, and the Spartans down to their final strike. Two-two pitch on the way with 2 outs in the ninth. Inside, ball 3. So the count goes full on Harms. 3-2 with 2 away. Weiss comes set. Here's his payoff pitch. Down low, ball 4. So Harms draws a walk, and now Dane Camphausen will be the batter. Camphausen 0 for 3 with a sacrifice fly in the game so far. He has not looked good in his 2 plate appearances against Weiss. He struck out twice. See if the third time's the charm for Camphausen. First pitch on the way. And swings and misses. I believe his shoulder guard came flying off on that one, and that brings the count to 0-1. Camphausen will have an opportunity here to get that back on. Now behind in the count, 0-1. Weiss comes set. Here's the pitch. And just a little outside, 1-1. Weiss now about to throw his 80th pitch of his relief outing. Here's the 1-1. And foul back. 1-2. Up and in. 2-2 the count on Camphausen. They're holding Harms on at first. So no free base there for him. As Camphausen lines that into right field, and the Spartans will have another base runner here. So a couple of 2-out base runners after the walk to Harms. The single by Camphausen. Zach Carinci will now be the base runner. Carinci singled in his last at-bat, one of 3 hits that the Spartans have had today against Weiss, and he takes that on the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Carinci with 1 hit and 4 at-bats in the game. First and second for the Spartans. 2 away, the 0-1 pitch to Carinci. And he holds up on that one, brings the count even, 1-1. It is a save situation now should a new pitcher enter the game for the Bears, with the potential game-tying run out on deck. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss as Weiss ramped up on his fastball there and gets a swing from Carinci. And it's now 1-2, and the Spartans once again are down to their final strike. 1-2 offering to Carinci from Weiss, his 86th pitch in relief. In the dirt, and that evens the count, 2-2. Timeout called as Weiss needs to tie his shoe. Now flips the ball on the mound, returns to the top of the hill. Set to deliver his 2-2 to Carinci with 2 on and 2 away in the ninth. And it's popped up. That should end the game. Shallow center, Boudet there, and that'll do it. So the Spartans see their 21-game home winning streak come to a close here with a 6-2 loss to Washington University as the Bears strike first in the doubleheader today, and even the series at a game apiece. So for WashU, they improved to 24-13-1 on the season. Case Western Reserve now 28-9. In UAA play, the Bears 8-5-1, while Case Western Reserve now drops to 11-3 overall. The winning pitcher in relief is Hank Weiss. He improves to 4-2 on the season. No save in the game. The loss goes to Archer Stankowski, who drops to 6-3. The game lasted 2 hours and 31 minutes. Attendance here at the ballpark today was 336. I want to thank everyone once again for joining us. A reminder that we'll be back with you in approximately 30 minutes for the start of Game 2 here, a little bit probably after 3 o'clock as these two teams will play the third game of the series, second game of today's doubleheader. I want to thank everyone again for joining us. We'll see you in a little bit. Final score, Game 1, 6-2, WashU with the win.